everybody. It's bonus stuff. We just got done reviewing the whole complete season 3 of The Bear. So go check that out. Well, a couple nights ago, we had two men yelling at each other at the debate. So
Oh no.
don't worry.
No.
We're getting political.
This is not a political podcast. We are a pop culture podcast.
That wasn't a political debate. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was straight up elder. That was straight up elder abuse.
So let's imagine if we had two other candidates running. So the first candidate we have
Oh my.
is Walter White running for president. And we're going to get into reasons why he should or should not. Our second candidate for the night, Chef Carmi, running for president. So you guys, we need voices on both sides. So does someone want to pick Carmi?
Oh my gosh. I feel like
I want to rep Walter White.
Okay, Jared wants to rep Walter.
I feel
White.
like I have to rep Carmi knowing Walter's story.
Okay.
He's gone too much in the name of for the greater good.
Okay, you can use that.
I'll go with Carmi.
Okay, so we got some questions for you guys. Okay, candidates. How would you fix this economy? So we'll go first to Walter White since he's 1 on 2. So go ahead, Walter. How would you fix?
As America, we have the best products, the best, like 100%. These products are fantastic, like backed by science. We will bleed the other countries of their money just so they have this just perfect product. It's 99.9%. That's how we get America back to not poor.
I was going to say, are you going to say the thing?
We will be rich.
America will be what again? As I'm drinking a red and white. Oh, God. No, get that away.
All right, Carmies. Which one wants to take it? You guys are double teaming, so you can. Who wants to go on the economy?
Go on this one, Michael.
Go for it.
Joseph, I think that a lot of problems stem from the fact that most people don't eat filet mignon enough. And I think that if we introduce this kind of dish into the public for every person, that I think a little bit of coming together will help. And through that, it will boost the workforce. People will be able to, you know what? I can work that extra shift. I can put in those hours. You know why? Because I have filet mignon waiting at my table when I get home.
I believe,
Thomas.
I believe you know my competitor and how he just wastes
This was not a call and response, sir.
millions of dollars on dystopian butter.
I think we know who the red and blue candidate is in this. All right.
Butter.
Next question.
Get off my expo.
Next question for Kari.
You don't think I cook? I cook all day, baby.
You cook trash. You cook trash.
Moving on, candidates. Carmi, some may call you mean. How do you respond to people who would call you mean?
This is all you, Michael.
Respond how you call me mean. I would be a terrible debater, guys. I'm not gonna lie about it. But Carmi would not be a debater because he is not mean. He is correct. He's doing it by as it should be done, perfect in every way. So he is not mean. You are just a baby.
As I say in the kitchen, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
There you go.
You're not
Get
mean.
in the freezer.
You're babies.
Get in the freezer.
We just called America babies. It's probably true. Walter, some may call you evil. How do you respond to people who think you might be evil?
Above all, I am a family man. I'm all about the family. I I have a son myself. He's disabled. I do everything for him. My wife, my beautiful wife, Skylar,
Beautiful.
loyal as heck. And my new baby child. I forgot that kid's name.
Is it Hope?
Hope, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carmi. I
No
forgot her
problem.
name. But yeah, if you're voting for me, you're voting for family. That's all I gotta say.
It's family evil. I'm with Walt now.
All right, so Carmi, going back, this question, you both don't have much foreign relations, but Carmi, you especially don't have any foreign relations experience. So how would you take care of the other countries, of America's allies and enemies? What would you say to them?
What?
Want me to take this one?
Yeah.
What? I would have to say that people who say that I don't have any foreign experience don't know me. I spent an entire year in Copenhagen. I learned that culture. Not saying I would go with their socialist ideals, but it's a very beautiful country, very beautiful people. And I would have to say that we need chocolate like that. But that's not for me to say exactly. That's for y'all to decide. I know my opponent doesn't like chocolate. He rather cook something else than chocolate. But I myself,
I like pizza, the most American thing. I have it on my roof. Also, I hear you have
Waste food.
property
You
in
waste food.
Copenhagen. Are you a citizen there? Or are you here? It seems like you're tiptoeing everywhere.
sir, where I own property is nobody's business. That is my personal business.
The only property I own is in America. That's all I'm saying.
You own property in New Mexico. That's not property. That's an Indian reservation.
Walter, you've had some experience with Mexico. How would that help you running America?
I'm building bridges again with Mexico. I am.
I'm sure my opponent would like to build a wall, but I won't.
I'm only building friendships. I
Criminal
am
friendships.
supporting them in all their endeavors, supplying them with whatever they need, whatever that may be. But yeah, I have a very close relationship with them. I have a friend named Tuco who is also
Latino.
very well.
A family man.
He does. He employs his cousins and his uncle.
He loves his uncle very much.
Yeah. But yeah, I am just we're like this. I want our neighbors to know. I want our neighbors to know. I want our neighbors to know we're tight. Tight.
Tight. Are you a Tuca? Are you tight?
That's 3 tights.
You want to comment on the Germans?
No comment.
All right, moving on. Chef Carney, who would you put on your staff from your staff of the Bear?
Like my running mate or my staff?
Well, anything. You could put them anywhere.
We got to take for our running mate. We have to have Fact Prime, which comes with a special set of skills that we need, and a calming nature and good back rubs. I don't know the other positions of the government that I require at this position because I am a chef, but Fact Prime can handle all of them. He will delegate to our other family and friends, and we will bring this country back to a 3-star country.
3-star.
Richie,
we are a 50-star country. That is disturbing.
Richie will be Secretary of State. Sydney will be Secretary of the Treasury, and probably Fact Prime will be the Vice President. If I had to guess.
Will John Cena be on your staff?
Yes, he will be our Secretary of Defense, and our enemies won't know that they're coming or we're coming because they can't see him. So, ultimate stealth technology is what we help to invest in. Also, ghosts, because I think haunting is the thing. So,
all right, high school teacher Walter White. Where would you put Jesse in your staff?
would it be the Secretary of like Science?
I'm also not good with government stuff. I just I don't know where I'd put him.
He's the man. He's the
All I know,
supervisor.
all I know is he has my back, and we will go through anything together.
So Secret Service.
Yes.
Bodyguard.
And plus you have Mike who can do everything. He just fixes everything, right?
I also have Saul Goodman. So
Oh, true. Attorney General Saul Goodman.
Oh God!
Dude, that's a scary thing.
All right.
Yeah, it is a scary thought.
All right. So your final question of the night, Chef Carney, how would you improve the country?
Want
Thomas?
me to do this one? Mark?
Yeah, go for it.
I would have to say that what we're missing the most is family and community. And we hope to bring that to every table and every home throughout the land, because communication is the best form of coming together. And if you don't have communication with the front of house and the back of house, then the whole thing falls apart.
Every second counts.
Every second counts.
All right, high school teacher Walter White, how would you improve the country?
I believe my competitor had a good thought. It is about family. As he pushes everyone away with his actions and his perfection, I bring people together. You'll be safe in my America because I'm the one who knocks. Other countries will know this. So you will have safety, you will have family, and that's about it. You'll have those two. But
That's it.
but that is what is gonna make this country great.
All right, there you have it, audience. America. Who do you pick to be the next president? Is it the chef from The Bear? Or is it from the drug dealer from New Mexico?
Alleged drug dealer.
Who do you got? Who would you want to run the country? Tell us. Tell us in the comments.
Call now.
Call
this number.
Donate to us now. All right. So that was fun. So next we go to a little bit of news.
Honestly, that was a bit more, that was easier to follow than the debate. So,
So speaking about the news, we have. Did you guys see the set pics for Superman? What did you think? Any more thoughts on his costume?
I like it.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's okay.
Rachel Brosnan looks good as Lois Lane. So
Yep.
I didn't see that picture.
You didn't? Wow.
she's in purple.
Boyple.
She look. Yep. She
Thompson's
looks
room is
like
purple.
Lois. True. We saw Mr. Terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I-
But
I-
I saw him.
Terrific.
I do not know hardly anything about that guy. I know that he's like a lawyer from outer space. That's about it.
Not what I expected you to say.
He's an Olympic athlete.
Oh, wait, no, I'm getting the wrong guy. I'm sorry. I know even less about this guy.
News. So, if you remember, I talked about a little bit about the uglifying of women in video games, that a trend that we keep kind of seeing. So we got another one. It's in the Wolverine game from Marvel's Wolverine, the same people that do Spider-Man, I guess. And it was Jean Grey. They showed her some early shots of Jean Grey, and boy, was she not pretty. She was not very
I
good
didn't see that
looking,
either.
as you usually see Jean. Next news. Captain America 4 is rumored to have cost Marvel almost $400,000 with all the
100.
reshoots.
400,000?
You mean million or?
400 million.
I
Sorry.
was like,
Okay.
that seems
I was like-
cheap.
That
I
seems
was like, that seems
Cost them
awfully like
$5.62.
it said Dr. Evil and Austin Powers $1 million. What?
so.
Nothing.
All those reshoots are costing a pretty penny because they pretty much have to reshoot the whole movie.
Damn.
And the biggest news was the developing story of Dr. Disrespect. We have talked about it earlier, but even more has come out. So when we last left it, we got very vague statements from him. But at this coming week, we heard that he kind of admitted to wrongdoing. He said, yes, I've been inappropriately texting someone that was young. So we got that. But then the latest put another spin on it because we saw that the Twitch person that accused him actually might have, they tried to trap him. So there was like a Twitch employee posing as this underage person to trap Dr. Disrespect. And Twitch has known about this for like 7 years, I think it is. It's been years that they've known about this. And despite that, they've still pushed his content and they still promoted him. So it's just a very weird story. It seems like both sides did have some wrongdoing. Because like even if you believe that it was just a Twitch employee, he's still, doing
the bait.
text to he took the bait. So
I didn't see that
So-
other thing about the what you recalled it,
the
baiting.
entrapment, yeah.
Interesting.
So, so the story just keeps getting weirder and weirder. So yeah, not very good. They understandably they went after Doc's, endorsements and stuff like that. Companies pulled out, which you can understand.
Yeah, especially if you're like we talked about last time. I was like, I just want to know when the actual truth or evidence comes out of like his side, and then he came in and fully admitted it. So yeah, 100%. I'm like, yeah, that's like we were talking in the chat about how Nick Merckx and Tim the Tatman both were like, yeah, that's a line we aren't comfortable with people crossing. That is unacceptable, I think is what Tim said. And it's like, yeah, like I agree now that we are at this point that yes, you need to drop him, and it's it's unfortunate. I was actually having a big conversation about this with Alex just before here because I've just been thinking a lot about that kind of like when you put people on these pedestals, not in the slightest like defending anything he did, but it's like it's interesting how many people point fingers. I'm like, that is such an interesting, especially because he's cheated on his wife before, so he clearly has an issue with this sort of like with lust or whatever, or sexuality or sex addiction. I don't know what you would want to call it. I don't want to put labels on it. And it's like putting him on that pedestal like that, which a lot of people do, with people all sorts of in power and in any aspect. And it's like it's such a it's an interesting thing of like, at what point are you like, hey, you like see like, at what point do you bring a point the idea of like, hey, he should seek help, like instead of just like damning it, like, hey, this is obviously like a serious thing he struggles with, and I don't know. It's a weird situation. 100% don't condone it in the slightest, and 100% won't follow him anymore or watch his content. Or I've never watched. I would tune into his streams, but I actually found his. Stop it, Hattie. His he got a little too angry in his streams. I didn't find it that entertaining, so he wasn't one I watched a lot. I would watch his YouTube videos because editors are great, but it's unfortunate. It's fortunate that things like that happen and kind of breaks communities. Like I do watch Doc and Tim a lot, and that kind of like tears them apart. And like Nick had a very good post day after his initial thing of saying, hey, yeah, we're going to cut ties because that's unacceptable. His discussion the next day was actually very, very good. He kind of opened up the chat, everyone, haters, not whatever. He just kind of answered questions for a good 30 or 40 minutes. So it was very insightful, but yeah, sucks. Sucks people do that.
Yeah, and there's been blowback on them as well because they're like, "Oh, to cancel those guys too," and it's like, "What? They didn't do anything."
Like,
but
they didn't even do it, and they're both like, "Yeah." Now that we've like they both said before, not going to make any decisions until we see what actually is going on. They saw what actually going on, and immediately both of them put on Twitter videos of, yeah, this sucks and it hurts and we're done. So
Yep. And the Twitch stuff is like Twitch
that's
has
wild.
been shady
That's
in
what-
the past, and they're
They're a
shady
shady
now.
company.
Yeah.
That's what Nick was actually bringing that up because someone was like, yeah, I kind of want to see like the actual, like all the messages and all this stuff because there's something definitely more to this. Like why initially? Because apparently this happened in 2017. The ban was in 2020, but you didn't know about it until now. It's like, why hide that information? There's no reason for Twitch to hide the information of why he was banned unless there's something else weird going on. Seemingly, I mean, we'll see. But
Yep.
interesting
I
stuff.
want to add something real quick. I don't have much to say about the actual story. I never watched his stuff or followed him at all. And it does suck to see someone that's happening, and like it does suck to see like one of your favorite content creators do something like that. It feels like a betrayal and everything. What was kind of disturbing to me this time was seeing comments and like his supporters in the comments is like, because I didn't hear this newest stuff, but like when it was apparently just about him texting seemed to be a 17-year-old, they're like, oh, she was 17, it's fine, it's like a year away. I was like, and then there's a lot of people just defending that, and so it kind of breeds this like, oh, kind of understanding. I know it's only a year away from like legal age, but still it's
it just keeps pushing it back. If you allow
he's
that,
a married man with a daughter. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Like minor is wrong 100%. Also, married man with a daughter, still 100% wrong if she's 18 the next
also
year.
you're still a kid when you're like 21. You're
Yeah,
not
true.
mature enough
And
for
he's
a lot
40
of things.
something. Like,
Yeah.
it's
So I just saw.
icky.
I thought this is the first time I saw like the comment section, and it was kind of disturbing to see all that like defense.
yeah.
But there was a lot of other commenters being like, "Dude, that's kind of creepy."
Man, it's such a mixing pool of people who are like have that like false sense of loyalty to a person they've followed for so long, and they have that understanding of like, because I don't think Dr. Disrespect is like a genuinely bad guy. I assume he struggles with this. He obviously struggles with this. He's cheated on his wife, and it's like he needs to be aware enough to not put him into situations to fall to temptation. Like that is 100% wrong, and like, and so that kind of like the mixing pot of the people on. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Because you were talking about the comments. Yeah, it just sucks in that situation. Comments always suck, and it's like it's like where I just want reasonable discussion to happen, but there's just fewer and far between lately, and it's frustrating me. It's big time frustrating me actually.
And you got to remember, like it's totally a persona. We don't really know the
that's
guy.
true too. It's like he's a
total
character.
Act.
Yeah, it's like you don't really actually. I mean, there are points where like. I mean, all streamers do this, so it could just be a facade. But if someone comes to him with a problem, then I feel like the Dr. Disrespect was good about kind of stopping. Like if someone said, "Hey, my mom just died. This just happened to me." Blah blah blah. He was, from the clips that I've seen and the stuff that I've seen, he was very good about kind of stopping and having a real moment with that. Whether it's genuine or not, who the heck knows? But so people, and that's what kind of I was talking about earlier. Putting people on pedestals and getting this attachment to people you don't know is such a. I was thinking about that a lot this past week and kind of just digesting all this that has happened. It's just like, and Alex and I have talked about how we've tried to pull ourselves away from that because we had for a long time followed a group called Kind of Funny, and we kind of got to that point where we would go to RTX and Alex was around. He's like, this just kind of feels weird because everyone's here. And you're just idolizing these people a little too much. You can enjoy content 100%, but it's just you got to understand that line, the division between who they are and who you are. And a lot of people, I mean, I don't think he and I were ever in this boat, but people like I remember there's a woman by the name of Barbara Dunkelman who used to work at Rooster Teeth, and she told a story about how a guy in line was waiting to go, take a picture of her. He went up immediately and picked her up in a big hug and swung her around. And it just kind of was a stop moment. Like, you need to realize the boundary of, I don't know you. Like you have this idea in the back of your mind, like we're friends, like we share a lot. Like she had a podcast called Always Open. It's like this kind of back and forth where you feel close to people, or you feel attachment to these people, but they don't know you and you don't really know them. is the truth of it. And so situations like Jared was bringing up, these people defending him, like they don't really know Doc. Like it's hard to, like, especially if you've been through, like we talked about with the bear, like these experiences that these characters are going through, and then this in real life, you kind of go through things, or like a lot of streamers or people will be like, hey, watching your streams helped me through this difficult time, or listening to your music helped me through this difficult time. Like, and they grow that false attachment. I mean, not so false, but because you can't have a relationship with the content or a creator or anything like that. But you just have to, it's a weird line Alex and I have kind of tried to separate ourselves from, even like with Colin, who left Kind of Funny, and Alex talking today. He's like, I still watch like 90% of Colin's stuff, but I have to remember that they are just providing this entertainment and information, and that pseudo, not even relationship, I want to say, but I don't, that joint community in a sense. And it's just, it's an interesting thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Cause I mean, it's even like in things, I'm going to take a little dark turn for a second, but you think about like why it's such a stereotype that, like, you know, pastor or something like that, like it's like, oh, the little kids, it's like the issue there. It's like when you put these people on pedestals so high, and then you give them that opportunity, or you let them, you know, alone, like with Dr. Respect in a chat room, alone with someone talking, like it's just a dangerous place to be, because you feed this ego to them so much of like what you see, and like I said, you just put them on that pedestal, and then it'd be difficult in that situation to not feel that kind of ego growing. Like I couldn't imagine having that many people adoring me, and that many people defending me, like Jared was pointing out, like false defense, like saying, oh, he didn't do anything wrong, he did something wrong, he admitted he did something wrong, he said he effed up in his tweet. It's like it's a weird murky situation that like Twitch, especially in that kind of streaming culture, exemplifies that. But it's existed forever, like I was saying. But I don't know, it's been a lot on my mind lately, and I haven't quite untangled it all. But I don't know.
It's interesting seeing. It's interesting seeing this age of internet and this whole new like psychology of the parasocial relationship between creators and the fans. You see a lot of like Super Eye Patch Wolf deals with it a lot, because he has a lot of fans that just come up to him, and he's like, they're like, hey, John, and he's like, this is creepy, I don't like this. Like it's a weird relationship for them too, because they don't know you, you're not that actually close. Yeah, he makes content for you, and he enjoys like kind of the social relationship, or kind of the community he's built up. But at the end of the day, you're not friends. You're just someone who's consuming their content. So it's definitely interesting and kind of scary seeing this whole new psychology to people in this relationship with content creators.
There's also something like, okay, so I'm not defending people who like over are presumed to you know, be friends with a content creator, you know. But there is something to be said about someone who absorbs all of your content day in, day out, you know, especially if you've been doing YouTube for a long time, and you know, they think that they know you, and especially if they're super socially like awkward, to have somebody speak to them through YouTube is a way of like comfort for them. And so when they see somebody out in the open, they automatically assume that you're going to be speaking to them. And again, I'm not defending the people who like overshare, that kind of thing, but it's almost like it's social conditioning for people to assume that the content creator wants to talk to them, because they talk to them all the time through YouTube. I mean, that's just, you click on a button and you have somebody talking to you. That's just how it is.
And you do hear a lot. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, these streamers are built on building a community, and a lot of these people, like on YouTube, a lot of people are lonely, and a lot of people don't have families, so they rely on this community to kind of, substitute for the stuff they're missing. So it is kind of shocking when you get into those situations where it could be very awkward, and people just, it's like they build this family, and if you disrespect it or anything, of course they're going to come to your aid, even if we can, even like Michael said, he admitted it was wrong. You're still going to have people that are going to be on his side just
Mhm.
because they feel so close to him and it's like so close to the content and stuff.
It's such a complicated thing though, because you know a lot of the YouTubers aren't like doing this out of malicious intent, just want the money of these people or just want the
Mhm.
views of these people. Like when the people do open up and like, oh man, your content really saved me at some points, you know, they're genuinely, oh, that means a lot to
Yeah.
me. I'm glad this could help. So it's complicated. You can't just be like, oh, they're just YouTubers. They don't care about
Yeah.
you. But it's like Michael said, it is a persona. Like John said, that is not John. Like he is not that person on the video. He is pretty different from that guy. Like he's in real life, he is very like reserved and very like antisocial and stuff like that. So and he's not like outgoing in his videos, but he still says that is a persona that isn't 100% me. And there are a lot of content creators who are like, we aren't friends. I do appreciate you're here and stuff like that. They're always upfront with that. Like I know the needle drops like that. He doesn't like lead people on like, oh, we're friends. He's like, I make content for you and I enjoy that. I enjoy my community and stuff like that. I think Papa Meat's like that as well. But it is good to see that there are some, I guess, responsible, I guess, content creators or know how to like separate they don't like lead people on to
Yeah.
make them think that they're best friends or something like that.
Yeah, because that's a difficult line because we talked about the Doc being a persona. He was like this overly arrogant character. It's like all about him and shining everything on him. And I mean, that's obviously got to go to his head at some point. Like you get so stuck being in that position for 8 hours a day or however much he streamed. I mean, he was only streaming 3 days a week before he has backed out for now. But it's interesting to draw it back to the bear. It's actually pretty funny because Olivia Colman is one of those people that she was on a podcast that David Tennant did during COVID, and she talked about how much she hates fame. Like she hates all of it. She's like, I just want to do my work. I just want to act and do this performance, and then I don't want to see any. I don't want any connection to it. It's so it's like that kind of like different opposite side of it that you were saying, where they're like, hey, we're not friends. Like she appreciates the compliments and everything like that, but she's like, I don't want that spotlight. I don't want to be. But then, of course, she has gotten so big after, because that was 2020, and then she's done so many enormous things since. Because the first thing I saw her in was Doctor Who with Matt Smith. It's wild, but
I think the first thing I saw her in was Peep Show with what's his name? It's nothing sexual. It's about this sitcom of these two British guys.
That sounds familiar.
And the way that shot is from the POV of each. When someone's talking like to somebody, they switches to their POV, like literally like you're looking through their eyes, and this is what it's called. It's really funny. But I remember her, she's like the young like girlfriend or wannabe girlfriend. I'm like, is that Olivia Colman?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Long discussion.
All right. Yeah, long talk. Okay, so what we did. We have 2 episodes of House of the Dragon to talk about. So are you guys caught up?
I'm caught up. I've seen 3.
Okay, so let's save that for the end. So why don't we go fast through our watch list, because we're running out of time. Yeah, I started Mayor of Kingstown season 3, I think they're on. I started Go Go Loser Ranger. Very interesting. I'm kind of excited to see where they go with that. But I'll talk about that next time. So, Michael, what did you have?
The only thing I watched was episode of Doctor Who. It's another downer, everyone.
How'd that go, Michael?
This one was a Bridgerton style episode, and they referenced Bridgerton probably 3 times. They go back to some older time, and they're going to like one of the fancy parties, or everyone's dancing or whatever, and they're like dressed up and everything is very fun. And it wasn't a terrible episode. It's just like let me just explain. They arrive at the party, and there's aliens there, multiple aliens that are taking over people's bodies and appearances. You're okay, cool. We're gonna have some sort of shape-shifting enemy, whatever. Blah blah blah. The doctor ends up getting hot with some dude, and then he follows him around. They both think each other. They're both aliens or something like that. And it's like they're trying to introduce some sort of Jack Harkness character, is what I got from it. We'll see where it goes because he's obviously clearly going to be in the future. But where the issue is they kind of tried to focus so much on that they didn't focus on the actual episode and what's happening with the aliens. So you knew all the aliens, who they were. There was no tension of what's going on and everything. And then they started explaining the aliens, not shapeshifters, not clones, not chameleons. They called them cosplayers. These are alien cosplayers, and literally this is what the villain alien said whenever the final confrontation's happening. She goes, "We're gonna cosplay all over the universe." And I was just like,
Wow.
someone take a hammer to my brain, because I cannot believe that just happened. Cosplaying aliens took over Bridgerton, and the Doctor had to fight them off.
That's some dangerous levels of cringe, man. That could hurt somebody.
I was in pain because of cringe.
This truly is the darkest timeline.
Man, like we had that high couple episodes, and it is just we have plummeted. We have plummeted.
That's embarrassing.
Because at first the Harkness character, I don't remember his actual name, or the character's name. He was like, yeah, they're like cosplaying through things. So I thought, oh, he's just, referencing it, like trying to be hip with the kids. Or whatever. But then whenever the aliens actually said they were going to cosplay across the universe, it hurt my brain so badly. It hurt my brain so badly. It wasn't even a good episode. The story didn't. It was. Yeah, so that was Doctor Who this week. Musically, Coldplay announced their album's coming out in October. They had a single come out. It's very Coldplay. I enjoyed it. It sounds very similar to their other stuff, so I was kind of hoping for more vibe. Like they had the Gray album. I always forget the name of it. Starts with an E. Came out on my birthday a few years ago. Excellent, different kind of tone album. I think that's the one Jared and Jonah had said they hadn't listened to. I'm like, you guys got to listen to that album. It's so good.
Got a lot of Michael
So good.
lore in that one sentence.
Huh? That's true. Yeah. This one seems more along the lines of like Milo's Iloto or whatever. If that's how you pronounce that album's name. It's just very upbeat and do. And it was a good song though. I like it. Only one song
It's
so
a nice
far.
little jig.
Nice little jig. I love me some Coldplay. So excited for that. And I think that's it.
All right, Jared, you got
I have some YouTube videos that I'll save for next time since we're running out of time, but I did want to talk about a movie I watched called Good Boy, which was on Amazon Prime. Let me run you down this real quick. So this lady matches up with a guy on Tinder. They meet up, they have their date. She's late to it. Like he's like drinking a whole beer, he's about to leave, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I'm late." So I was like, "That's kind of rude." And then as soon as they sit down, she starts texting on her phone.
Yeah.
It's true.
She starts texting. I was like, "Oh, that's rude too." But anyway, they hit it off. And he's like, "Hey, you want to go back to my place?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then they go to his place.
Well, you weren't late.
They go back to his place. They talk a little more. She's like, "Do you live here alone?" He's like, "Oh, I live here with my dog. Just me and him."
It's his
And
house.
so they make love. And then when she wakes up, the dog's at the foot of the bed. The dog is a man in a dog
Wilfred?
suit. Yeah, it's more like furry stuff.
Oh no.
It's just that dude in a dog suit, and she's like, "The heck? I thought you lived alone." And he's like, "I do, just me and the dog." And she's like, "Okay, you need to take me home now." So he drives her home.
We gotta go. We gotta go now.
She walks into her flat, and because this is in Sweden, that's why I said flat. Usually I'd say apartment. But she walks in there, and the roommate's like, "Oh, the walk of shame," and she's like, "Oh no, he actually drove me back." And she's like, "Well, how did it go?" And she's like, "It went well." And she's like, "Do you have a picture of him?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, he's cute. Do you know the?" Or no, she says, "Haha, that's very funny." And she's like, "What are you talking about?" That's that. He's the son of those millionaires, and so she's like, "Oh, really? He's rich?" And
Yeah, that changes things.
I can get past the dog now.
she's like, "Yeah, but he lives with this guy who just is always in a dog suit, so I don't think it's going anywhere." And she's like, "What? You're so close-minded." And I was like, "Lady, no." Anyway, they have a second date. And I'm like, oh my God, you're dumb. And the second day, he's like, oh, you want to come back to my place for the second day? I was like, more red flags. It's not a public place. It's right back to the house. So I was like, oh my God, this dumb,
Eat out of dog bowls.
greedy lady. And they hit it off. He explains more about him. He explains that they met when they were little kids and he never really had friends. And then he developed this need to be, or not need, but he identified as a dog. And so now he's a dog. And that's how you should treat him. It's just a dog. He's not a human. And so she's like, okay. And so they start dating.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like a couple weeks later, he's like, it's probably too soon for this, but do you want to go on a trip with me and Frank to a cabin? And I was like, oh my God, you're asking to die. You're asking to die. So they go on this trip. They're having a good time. And at one point in the night, he's like, oh, let me go get some more wine. And Frank goes up to her, opens the mask. He's like, you got to get me out of here. He's crazy.
God.
And then he closes the mask. He closes the mask. And she's like stunned. She's like, she can't talk. And he's like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm just tired. We should go to bed. And so now she's trying to figure out how to get out of here. Because when they first get to the cabin, he's like, he has this little plastic box. He's like, we should put our phones in here so we can get to know each other better. And I was like, God,
Nope.
you just want to die.
Turn around.
And she's like, yeah, okay. Puts the phone in there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
And eventually, you guys aren't gonna watch this, so I'll spoil it.
Do it.
I've never even heard of it.
It gets to a point where like they're trying to run away. She gets into the forest. She seems she could run away. She could be fine, but she's like, I gotta save Frank.
Frank.
He gets Frank. He tries to recondition him because he's not being a real good boy. He's acting human. So he puts him in a cage in this cabin. He's like blaring music, smacking the cage with a baseball bat, and he's like, "Say wolf, say wolf!" And Frank's just like crying. He's like, ah! And so he's like torturing this poor guy. She gets a log and she's going back to the cabin. So I was like, oh, okay, she's got a weapon, I guess. She hits him over the head once, drops the log, and goes to grab Frank. You can see him not like unconscious. He's like actually like, I was like, you stupid lady. Like, well, kill him. You have rights to kill him now.
No court will convict you.
Anyway, they're trying to escape. The guy gets up. Hello. And
talking about me?
The guy gets up and he has a baseball bat, the one he was hitting the cage with, and he knocks them both out. The next scene is he's preparing the bowls for Frank's breakfast. He gives him the kibble. Frank's still in the cage. And he's like, oh, tomorrow, or no, he doesn't say anything to him. He just gives him the dog bowl. He has a second dog bowl. He goes into where he was torturing Frank, and now she's in a dog suit. And he's like, if you're a good dog, you can sleep in the house tomorrow. And he gives her the food, and she's acting like a total dog. There's a third bowl. He puts it on the floor, and this little child in a dog suit comes out. So I guess they had a kid. And I just clapped. I was like, this was great. And that was good boy. And I was stunned,
man. That is right. Holy cow.
I laughed. I cried.
It moved
me, Bob.
Luna was interested. She's like, why is that man acting like a dog?
Oh man.
But that's all I wanted to talk about this time.
That is something.
All right, Thomas.
I don't know if I can top that. Are you kidding?
I know. You might as well not even go.
Cosplaying aliens out the window,
Hey.
dog man.
I've been gone for 2 weeks. You're like, no, screw you, Thomas. So yeah, I went to DC, so I had a lot of time to just like watch crap while I like drove. Not watch, but just play. I watched.
We know it.
Well, I went through a lot of the Deadliest Catch because I was just like, I really need something to just just kind of go in my headphones. And yeah, these guys have it hard. I got it hard too. I'm a trucker. All right, let's do this. Very
box
interesting. Yeah, well, it's also almost 1,600 miles. So shut up.
You're not on a cliff. It's not icy.
I'm gonna stuff you in a box truck next time.
I'm gonna put
So
you in
yeah,
a
that
dog
was
costume.
interesting. Yeah, put you in a dog costume. Watched a lot of that. I watched a lot of Young Sheldon for some reason. It's kind of fun.
Is it? I haven't
Honestly,
heard
it's better than
I haven't heard anyone talk about Young Sheldon.
it's better than Big Bang Theory. Honestly.
That's not hard.
I just throw it in the realm of like How I Met Your Father, and then the what is it, the 90s show now that looks terrible.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but it
Spin-offs.
looks terrible. But like
My parents
Young
love that
Sheldon's-
show.
How I Met Your
Young
Father.
Sheldon.
How I Met Your Father. Has anyone seen it?
No.
It's so
Why would we?
It's
I have no
so
desire.
bad. It's so bad. And
Hmm.
I literally, this was ages ago, but I went and rewatched the first season of How I Met Your Mother, and it's amazing. I'm like, what happened? Is it the same people? I don't know.
Went on for
Anyway,
too
we
long.
can go on to be
Are
Sheldon.
any sitcoms good? Because I always see that or the commercials for that Ghost show, and it's like, does people watch that?
Ghost
How is that keep going?
Ghost Show?
I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
there's one on CBS called Ghosts, where this lady lives with a bunch of ghosts, and there's like a Viking ghost and a
George Washington
American,
pops up?
yeah, American Revolution ghost, and
Didn't watch that on the drive, so
Well, you know what you're doing next time you drive.
I know, right? Well, yeah, that. Then I watched some Smiling Friends, had the UFO episode that Jared talked about, and that is probably my favorite one so far. That one's pretty great. And then watched some more of My Adventures with Superman. Still good. I'm still digging the art style. I think it's my favorite part is the art style. Then we got some anime. Watched Kaiju number 8. The last 2 episodes are not dubbed yet. I don't know what happened.
I know. I haven't.
It's still really good. It's pretty cool. So I'm liking the direction that they went. And then we had the season finale of Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. And I was saying it was gonna hurt. Yeah, it hurt like hardcore. I was almost crying. I was like, oh my god, this hurts. But what's kind of cool is at the very end, so they have like the Roman numerals for season 1, season 2, but they had like the title card, and then it came up as like season or number 3. I'm like, yes, so we got another season coming. Then watched some Garantham. He had a Glock 18, which is a full auto Glock. It's pretty cool. It's basically only used in the Swedish police are like the only people who really use it, randomly enough. Very interesting.
Take down
gun,
those
but-
furries.
Yes, like just shoot them on sight, man.
Dang.
So I had to like I tried watching The Acolyte when I was out of town. Yeah, that did not go well. And then I also learned that Dave Filoni signed off on this. I was like, okay, well, all of my hope
All
is
hope
now
is gone,
lost.
yep.
Oh, it's lost.
Like, you were our only hope, and now, wow. Okay, that's, yeah. So, that's all I got. But I do have one thing. I moved locations, as you can see. I moved.
Purple room.
Purple.
Yeah, purple room. So during DC, it was a very hard trip, very physically and mentally draining. So I had one thing to keep me going, because I was like, you know what? I'm making a pretty good amount of money. I'm going to buy myself something to make sure that I have something to look
If it's
forward
more
to when I get
Carhartt,
back.
I'm going to cancel the recording.
So
Oh no.
It's like 3,000 degrees out there.
well, okay. So this one I know is specifically targeted at me. So this one is that the ad starts off like, do you live in Texas? Do you like wearing Carhartt? But is it too hot outside? I'm like, yes, I do. So this is a re-engineered Detroit. It is actually mostly just the liner, it's Detroit canvas without the liner in it. So it's much, much lighter. Basically a windbreaker. Very, very comfortable, and I actually got it into a size that fits me a little better. And
I don't care how breathable.
It's been 100 every day.
I'm not wearing it right now.
You literally are.
Shut up, Michael.
You know what, Thomas? You know what we'll do for you? We'll have a little fashion show so you can just like, this is my Carhartt number 3 model, whatever. I don't know how to name stuff, but
Look down, Detroit,
Mach 5.
Detroit style, a J95 or J97.
Hey,
But
They
this
have
was
Carhartt at Sam's Club. I saw it.
Yeah. They have the shirts?
$22. Yeah, $22. Their most expensive shirts, but they got it.
that's expensive
What
for
it-
those because I normally get those like at Costco for like 15.
Costco.
When are you getting a tattoo of Carhartt? When is it
I'm
gonna
thinking
ink your
about
body?
it. I'm
Don't
talking to
get
a
a
tattoo
tattoo
artist
of
about getting one.
Carhartt, Thomas.
Right
You can
here,
still get
Like a
tattoo of
teardrop.
Carhartt.
Right here.
Teardrop.
Joe, a tiny Carhartt symbol.
Don't get a Carhartt tattoo.
I'll
Right in the forehead,
I'll
man,
get
right in the
I'll get a
forehead.
tiny Carhartt symbol for every Carhartt I purchase.
Yeah.
like a kill.
It's like the scars that
Yeah.
people make
Yeah.
breach kill.
Post
But, yeah,
Malone
this
will like
is-
shake your hand after.
Yeah, this is my re-engineered Detroit, and it's really cool. I like it. So,
There you
but
go.
okay, this was something to get me back because it was a long drive back. So, if you can tell by my eyes, I still haven't slept much. So,
Can't wait to curl up with that Carhartt when I get back and.
In the 100-degree
degrees summer.
but no, I was like, I know that Google is spying on me because I literally the ad was like, "Do you live in Texas? Do you love Carhartt? But is it too hot to wear it all the time?" I'm like, well, crap.
Here's the jacket.
The
Doesn't solve my
algorithm found
problem.
me.
But it's
So-
Dude,
You kind of look like UPS right now.
it does.
Instagram was very creepy because yesterday, me and Jonah and Jared recorded an episode of our cover judging show that we do where we judge the covers of stuff.
Covers.
Yeah, so like covers of comics, and we're doing Transformers comics, and we're like, who is that Transformer? Is that like one of Soundwave's little cassette guys? And then on Instagram all day today, that character, all the videos was that character.
By the way,
That
I'm a
is
little
creepy.
upset. I did not get invited to help with that cover of Knights of the Old Republic because I actually own all those.
And we went through all of them.
Maybe me too.
Joseph
First-
really disappointed
first-
me on this
First
episode.
one's still great though.
We had these sweet covers, like beautiful, like vaporwave album art, and then there's just some army dudes from GI Joe, and he's like, "This is great," and I was like, "No, we had perfection."
So check out that episode. It's coming out soon. Okay. So House of the Dragon. Thomas, you
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
here for the first one.
No.
The first episode. Do you want to say your thoughts real fast about that first one?
It's a good intro. It's about the only thing. It's kind of like my least favorite of the three right now.
Okay. So speaking of intros, I kind of like the intro better on this one. The little
So we were
Tapestry
actually
stuff.
talking, we were talking about this. I like the tapestry a lot, how it kind of changes with each episode.
Mhm.
But Alex was right. They really needed a different theme song.
Yeah,
It's
interesting.
should've.
It's Game of Thrones, like it's not House of the Dragon. So
Interesting stuff. Okay. Episode 2.
anyway,
Rhaenyra the Cruel. So the king is freaking out about his dead heir like he should be. He wants war right now. I'm just going to go through my notes because we don't have a lot of time. So the hand says, let's have a parade. Let's just put the baby on parade and then everyone will hate Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra comes in. It
Parade,
says,
not the
I just
word, but
Rhaenyra's like, I just wanted Daemon dead. Well, whose bright idea was this? Slowly, everyone turns to Daemon.
He's just like, what? What could it be?
So Daemon does what he always does. He whines and he runs away. They have the parade, and the queen's freaking out because she's a little autistic, so she's like doesn't like crowds. The king breaks some guy's skull because he didn't want to go to the parade. Sir Christian, he is feeling super guilty, man, because he can't stop making whoopee to the queen. I mean, she's like taking a bath. She's like, "Hey, you want to make some whoopee?" He's like, "No, I am feeling really guilty about this." So he finds the hipster dude. Remember the hipster guys? And he says, "Hey, you know what? You should go kill the queen, man. You can do this." He's like, "What? Me against one freaking castle?" He's like, "Yeah, you got this, man. Go over there. You got to do it."
He was such a dick to that guy. Oh my god.
he's Sir Christian. What do you expect?
That's true.
The white worm. Oh man, I don't like this character.
Which one's that?
So
one?
she's
The spy woman.
Damon's ex.
Oh, the one that she wants to be free.
Yeah. There's a bunch of scenes that with people I have no idea who these people are. Like the guys at the docks, I don't know who those are. There's like this guy talking to his wife. I don't know who any of these people are. They'll probably explain it to me later, but for right now, I'm very confused. So the white worm, they put her in prison, and they're like, "Hey, now get her out of the prison, and we'll just release you because I'm a terrible queen, and you can just go free." The king hangs all the rat catchers in the kingdom because they don't know which one's the right one, so he's just gonna hang all of them. And he's very proud of himself. And the hand's like freaking out. He's like, "What the heck is going on, man? You've just killed all our goodwill we had." And you know what? He's gonna fire the hand. No more the hand. I really like the actor who plays the hand, but I couldn't
Yeah.
stand his character, so I'm glad he's out of there. And Sir Christian, of all people, gets promoted to the hand. I think that's a terrible idea, but at least stuff is going to happen, right? Because these these few episodes, nothing has happened. So I'm all for Sir Christian because something he will
Oh my
do.
God.
He gets
Joseph.
stuff done.
He's gonna get something done.
The next debates.
So, and then when the twin hipster sneaks into the castle, he sees his hipster brother, and they fight in front of the king, and they kill each other. The hipsters are dead. And
more
that was episode 2. I did not like episode 2. The more I thought about it, I didn't like it. But what did you guys think?
Yeah, it's the weakest in my opinion. Dragged a little bit. All the characters I don't like are just being worse. The king's a big baby. He has terrible insecurities. Sir Christian is a loser, but he keeps getting promoted, and I don't understand it.
Keeps banging the queen.
Keeps banging the queen. The queen is
He
just
can't stop, man. He just can't stop.
the queen's a poor emotional mess. No idea what she's
The queen mother, by the way, because when you
Is
said
the
like,
queen
oh, the
mother.
queen's a little
Yeah,
autistic, I was like,
Yeah, I had to
Really?
think. I was like, oh yeah, the other one that's like has
So-
very social
The actual queen
issues. The fight was good between the brothers. That was cool. I liked how the worm lady was like, oh hey, that guy shouldn't be here. And she
Yeah.
went back and then she did that. Damon, yeah, he's being a big baby. He just flew away. But he's Matt Smith, so I don't care. He can't do him wrong. And that's all I got.
He
Thomas.
did Morbius.
I didn't say that
True,
movie
he
didn't
did
happen.
Morbius. He ran to the Hollywood, did Morbius while he was gone.
yeah, no, it was all right. Not my favorite, but it moved along. That's about all I can say. I did
All
like this third one coming up though.
Okay, episode 3, The Burning Mill. More people I don't know. Hey, you moved your fence. And they're like, dude, it's a fence. We didn't move that fence. And so he's
It's
like,
just wool then.
say that to my face. And then everyone's dead. It was a very cool scene. I like that shot.
That was a very cool
Everyone's
shot.
dead on the field and the mill in the background. So I'm excited because I'm like, oh, Sir Christian, he's going to get stuff done. We're going to have
Oh
an
my
exciting
God,
boy.
Joseph, he's literally the worst person here.
So they bury the hipster twins, right, in the same grave. That seemed a little sick to me, but they did it, and that's what they probably would have
They
wanted,
don't
I
have
guess.
time
I
to
don't
dig
know.
2 graves.
Sir Christian is late to the meeting. He's got to get to the meeting. They're all having a little council meeting. He tells
Why is he
everyone
late? By the way, there's no reason for him to be late. He was just
I don't
standing
know.
there.
he's got a lot on his mind, man.
He's Sir Christian. He can be late.
I did like that, like, no one's showing him respect, though, of all the new people. They're just like, whatever.
So he tells everyone that he is going to ride out and take some land. I don't know what land it is. He's going to go right out and take the land. The king is like, heck yeah, man. Let's fire up the dragons. Let's get some cold ones.
I'm coming too.
We'll roast some brats. We're just going to make a weekend of this. And the old people are like, that's not a good idea. You need to protect us with your dragon. The brother too, you got to stay. You guys got to protect the kingdom. And so the king's all sad. Oh man. Sir Christian, Sir Christian just wants times with his guys, man. He's been making too much whoopee. He just needs some guy time, man. Damon arrives at a rain-filled castle, and it looks cool. It looks really cool.
Dark
It looks like
Souls.
he's ready for a Souls-like adventure in there. But then he opens the door, and everyone surrenders. They're like, "Oh, yeah, we're on your side, man.
Eat with us.
Yeah, have some venison, eat some peas." And he's
Why
like,
was the one thing I don't understand? Why was he holding that sword like a rifle? He's just like,
He's Matt
He
Smith.
was
He can do what he
ready.
wants.
It's a
ready for
gunblade.
some souls, man.
Gunblade. He's monster hunter.
he's not Squall.
He's like, I don't
Neither
wanna-
is Squall.
He's like, I don't want to eat my peas. They're probably poison. The guy laughs, ha ha ha, man. And he's like, hey, isn't your lord like very important over in the other kingdom? And they're like, we never liked that guy. That guy's in the feet. He's weird. And then we see the young king. He's in his armor. He's ready to go. But they're like, no, you should probably not go, man. He's like, look at this armor. I look awesome. And they're like, no, dude, let's get this guy laid. This guy's never been laid. Let's go on the town and we'll get this guy laid. And he's like, all right, but I am a fierce warrior, right? And they're like, yeah, of course you are.
He's NBL right now. Never been laid.
Rhaenyra sends the kids away. She's like, there's going to be a war. You kids got to go to your auntie and uncles in Beverly Hills and live it up over there.
Started making trouble in my neighborhood.
So, Sir Christian, he's got his troops ready. He's got his bros ready, man. They're going to go out camping. They're ready.
None of those guys like him, Joseph.
But the queen comes. And she's like, dude, you got to take your little cousin with you. And he's like, no, I don't want to take that guy. He looks like a nerd.
Kid's a square.
And she gives him the wife look. She's like, you're taking your little cousin out there. And she's like, dang it, we'll take him. So we get to see, I don't know who this guy is. There's this some barfly guy. And he comes in, he's talking with his bros. And he's like, you know what? I'm related to the king. And they're like, what? No way, man. And then the king walks in. He's like, beers for everyone. This makes this one dude really happy, man.
He was so excited.
He's never seen anything so funny as getting free beers because he just cracks up, man.
Free beer, what?
He's just like, ha, ha, ha. The barfly guy's like, oh my goodness, I almost got caught in my own lie. So everyone gets really drunk. The king's really drunk. You know, he's stumbling into the brothel. He's taking all the curtains down so everyone can see the Skinamax going on over there.
Oh my god!
And then he takes out one curtain, and it's his brother, and he's like starts laughing at him because his brother likes to lay naked with this lady and like cry because he has
one of those
issues.
guys.
Yeah, he's got mommy issues. So the brother starts laughing. And it was like, ha ha.
That's kind of funny.
The brother gets up, walks away. He's like, I don't care. You can do whatever you want.
That one happy beer guy is just dying laughing. He's like, he's a loser.
So Sir Christian's riding out with his guys, and you know, the nerd guy's talking to him. He's like, dude, I know this inn, man. I'm in at this inn. We can get you some good steaks, some good drinks. We should stay there. And then someone's like, dragon! And they're like, oh no, dragon. So they ride really fast into the forest. Sir Christian's like, into the trees, man. So they go in the trees. It's one of the, I don't know what she is. She's a cousin to the princes or whatever. She's going to marry that prince.
She's Damon's daughter.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and she's riding a dragon. She's got a cute little dragon, and she's like, that doesn't hurt a thing.
Yeah.
It's like a How to Train Your Dragon. She's flying over. She was told not to engage, so she doesn't really engage. She just kind of flies, and she, you know, she's, hey, that's Sir Christian. I know him.
She has
He's
some
really
impressive
handsome.
eyesight.
Yeah, that handsome guy right there, that's Sir Christian.
Very pretty, by the way.
So they go in the
Christian?
forest.
Yeah, no.
You know it, Tommy. So she flies away, and Sir Christian yells at the nerd. He's like, no ends. We are camping it, man. We are roughing it out here.
Look at my hairstyle.
So the end, the queen, he like got a haircut in this episode or something. So at the end, the queen sneaks into the castle because anyone can sneak into these castles, man. It's easy. Just change your hair and you put a robe on and you're into the castle. So she's going to try to talk it out with the queen mother. And, you know, we used to be friends, man. We used to be real close. And she's like, no, peace, man. You always do this. You always come here when you're losing. Why don't you come here when you're winning and offer peace? But no, you're always coming here when you're losing. She's like, get out of here, man. Get out of here. And so there's no peace. They're going to go to war. Hopefully, because I've been waiting for some battles for like 4 episodes, and they haven't done it. Sir Christian kind of let me down. I thought he was going to charge right into battle. He didn't charge into
He's hiding in trees.
Yeah. They should have shot down that dragon, man. They should have shot down that dragon. He should have
jumped off his horse and speared it in the forehead.
This man defeated David. He can defeat a dragon. I believe, man. I thought this was a better episode. I was still disappointed there was no battles, but I thought it was a better episode than the last one. So what do you guys think?
I hate all of your descriptions of these episodes, by the way. They have legitimately made me
A
angry.
parade with the child who was
The
just
parade with
beheaded.
the child. Oh my god. It was fine. Like again, this one was probably my favorite because stuff did happen. I did like all of Damon's scenes. I like how he's kind of trying to find his place in this war because nobody trusts him, but he wants to do something. He's too useful to not,
I
to set
forgot
up.
about that. He has a vision. He touches a tree.
Oh, yeah.
He has a vision, and in his vision, she tells him, "You just run away and do nothing all the time." And that was his vision.
Oh yeah, that was Maddie Aycock, I think, the original or the first Prince Rhaenyra, the younger one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
And then-
yeah. I was thinking
And
of the
this
other lady.
mysterious lady just walks by and is like, "You're gonna die here," you know that? And
Yeah.
she walks off. It's like, okay.
But no, I did like his scenes. And I think Michael said like the last scene was actually really good between the two queens about how basically Rhaenyra confronted Millicent going like, "Hey, guess what? Like, you're wrong, and I know you're wrong. I'm not wrong. No, she's obviously lying to herself now. So now this whole thing's going to go down because this stupid idiot won't like back down." But
I mean, it's like she
I
said
guess that's
though.
how
It
it
is
goes.
true that like she's like it's kind of already in motion. And I can't stop it because like
yeah,
she's like, you know what Aegon is? Aegon's a lunatic, insecure kid, and Sir Christian now has that power of the hand because Aegon's an insecure lunatic kid. But yeah,
I
like,
mean, honestly, Sir Christian is also a lunatic.
that's true.
insecure
Insecure,
kid,
yes,
so.
as well, yes. But yeah, I agree. I think the episode was good. But that scene though, with them talking around the candles, I had the most intense chills during that scene. Just like I'm a sucker for reveals and things like that. And whenever she finally realizes, like, oh crud, that's what he was talking about, and this
Yeah.
all started because of. Oh my god! And I was just like, oh god! And it was also really well acted and like it really well paced. Like I would say, never mind, ignore that last comment. I was thinking of the bear for a second. It was very well paced conversation. Very, very, very good. And it's really well shot too. Liked it. Very good. But yeah, it was goofy that she just snuck in as some Assassin's Creed stuff. She's just like following the praying people.
It's the easiest castle to break into, man.
Yeah.
I do like the reasoning. I do like that they're able to get there that fast is because Dragonstone and the Red Keep are really close to each other. That's where Aegon the Conqueror first landed was in Dragonstone, and then he landed in King's Landing. That's why it's called King's Landing. So I do like that they're really close to each other because that whole thing about the last season of Game of Thrones, or no, next to last season, where Daenerys basically goes all the way up north from all the way to the south. It's like that dragon had like an afterburner on it.
Supersonic.
But I do like that they can actually they can literally row there is a thing. But yeah, sneaking in's a little far fetched, but
They got
I did like
connections.
this one.
They got connections.
But I do like this. I'd like this scene or this episode probably the most.
Agreed. It was different because I feel like the first episode was too similar to the last episode of last season. Second episode's a little weird and oddly paced, and then this one I feel like was fresh.
I'm told stuff happens in episode 4, so hopefully
Things.
stuff happens.
Hopefully more Christian banging.
Yeah, and
The
stop
Christian going nuts.
threatening the actor, man. He is a character. You don't need to threaten him.
Who's threatening him?
People on
Thomas,
Twitter.
are you in the comments, Thomas?
Wait,
He's
so
getting death threats.
Oh my
and he's-
gosh.
Then it's
I-
definitely me.
It's so stupid. I hate people do that. Like that,
All right,
that thought never even. When does that come into your brain? Like the poor kid that played Joffrey in Game of Thrones. Like people sending him hate mail and stuff. It's like he's a character in a show. Accept reality for a moment. Anyway,
I know. I sent him hate mail
Baffling.
and from Batman Begins. I'm like, dude, you're a kid hanging out a window. What the heck? Batman gave you goggles. I should have goggles. Dang it.
Why is this 32-year-old man threatening me?
Oh well. Okay, that was fun. That was fun, but I'm
Wild
losing light over here, man.
I'm losing daylight, people. My window's dark. I need a shower really badly.
We are almost to 100 subscribers, which means we almost have to watch Rebel Moon, the director's cut. So if you want that to
I'm
happen,
not watching it alone.
We're
be
almost
sure
there,
to
guys.
subscribe.
Also, thank you for all the likes and everything for That's Good Pasta. Jared worked super hard on that episode and it's paid off. So thank you, Jared.
That's setting in that we will have to watch that. I just realized
You have done this.
What's it called? Wise Kids You Know is like, oh my god, it's just sinking in. I effing hate you.
You're gonna have to go to Michael's.
I thought Michael is just suffering, not us.
No, everyone's suffering along with
Oh
me.
my god, we should just
Welcome.
make Michael watch it and have it recap it for us.
Oh, I hate
Can we do that? No.
He'll definitely delete the channel then.
Yeah.
He's like
I'll
standing
delete
over
the
my bed with
internet.
the pillow. He's just
Well,
standing
that-
over my bed with the pillow, like, he made me do this.
We'll let Michael pick the punishment for when we get to 250 subscribers.
All of Doctor Who.
Oh no.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. That's absurd.
We'd have to change our channel. It'd just be
I
the
know.
Doctor Who channel.
I would just pick all of the bad Doctor Who, all the worst Doctor Who
All
episodes.
the worst ones.
The top 10 worst Doctor Who episodes, and you guys would be in
That
for
would be
quite a
funny.
ride. Oh, that'd be
That would
awful.
Pretty funny.
I already have 2 from this season that would be on that list.
Cosplaying all over the galaxy, Michael.
God.
Cosplay together.
Oh man.
I'll get you a
Alright.
shirt.
All right, so give us some subscriptions, throw us some likes, and notify yourself for even more good stuff to come. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Now I hit my eyeball.
Recording stopped.